My practice concentrates in state and local taxation. I do multi-state, state and local tax, which means I do income taxes, sales taxes, franchise taxes, excise, intangible tax, you name it, I do the tax across the country. Most of my work is, I would say, Illinois and Chicago and Cook County at about 50%, and the other 50% is spread among, the various states. After I got out of law school, I went and started looking around. I did tax returns on the side at firms that would do tax. I ended up actually at the city of Chicago, which was kind of strange because they were looking for a tax lawyer. Actually, when they're actually looking for someone to go in their tax division, I was told. I didn't know that I was their tax division when I was hired. So I became the tax lawyer for the city of Chicago a year out of school. So I was their chief tax lawyer, you might say, starting as a second-year associate. And then I moved up to be chief of tax at the city. That's how I got into state and local tax. And then I was hired at McDermott, Will & Emery as a partner in state and local tax. And then I've been the partner in charge of state and local tax here for 16 years. I'll represent, say an officer of a corporation who will be assessed tax because the corporation went under and they couldn't get the money. It'd be an officer liability assessment. I'll go represent them with the state saying why he shouldn't have to pay the corporation's tax. Or we'll have a merger or acquisition, and the company they're acquiring is, say, in about 30 other states, and I'll have to check those states on whether the company they're acquiring properly paid tax in those states. Because if they didn't, then you bought the company under most state tax laws, you've bought their liabilities. Even if you just bought their assets, you've bought their liabilities. So you don't want to pay, $100 million for a company and end up with $20 million worth of tax liabilities you didn't know about. So I do that. I mean, we do stuff with nexus issues, which is basically, do you have enough contact with a state for that state to put its tax jurisdiction on you? A lot of people do business as they expand. They go into various states. They think if they don't have an office there, they don't have to pay tax, but that's untrue. They may owe income tax and sales tax, and so we have to advise them on that or get rid of the issue for them. So I do a pretty broad spectrum of taxes.